Hello, welcome back to Whiskey Wednesday. Another Wednesday, another whiskey review with me, Joe. So, it's finally the time to review the Arran White Stag bottling. Now, I've been waiting to review this for so long, since back in January when I first tried this whiskey. Now, the Arran White Stag, this is the first release in a special box, or the first special White Stag bottling that they did. Chosen by a panel of fans of Arran that entered a competition to go up to Glasgow, choose from 5 cask samples that we were blind tasting, and then we finally decided, made our own tasting notes and chose a winner between the 10 people. Now, I was actually very lucky to be one of those competition winners. The competition was you had to submit your kind of most creative tasting note for an Arran product, an Arran whiskey. So I submitted a tasting note for my Arran Millennium cask, which I've actually previously reviewed on my channel. If you check it out back on my channel, it's a really good Arran whiskey. So I submitted my tasting note. Amazingly, I got chosen. I was so chuffed to go up, meet the Arran team, Jacqueline, Louisa, Andy and Ewan. It was absolutely fantastic. So, awesome box. It was a single cask. All the whiskies we tried were from single casks. This is a fantastic bottle. And just to say, obviously, that's the panel of people. That one, it was a pleasure to be among other big whiskey aficionados, and that's my name there. I'm very pleased that I have a whiskey with my name on the box. Also got a little hip flask with the White Stags of Arran on. So, dead chuffed with that. Of course, it was only available on the Arran White Stag website, which is their fan website. Sold out in minutes because there's only 214 bottles because it was from a single cask. So let's pour a little dram. And it's from a single sherry hogshead. It's 18 years old. Beautiful black ceramic bottle. Scented really nicely as well. And I don't normally do this on my reviews, but I thought I'd bring this along as well. As part of the evening, when we were choosing the different cask samples, we obviously made our tasting notes. Obviously my writing's pretty messy because it was just, rough notes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to read you and kind of go through the smells and tastes I got on the evening. I'm going to add to them as well. So, lovely colour, as you expect from a sherry cask whiskey. So 18 years old, single cask Arran, White Stag. Okay, so the first thing I smell is kind of a really thick, heavy set orange rind marmalade. And what have I put on here? I put Christmas cake. There is a cherry note. I put cherry kirsch, marmalade cake. Orange rind I put as well, and that kind of floral, it's very floral, and that's a kind of, a thing you get with all the Arran whiskies. It's kind of floral, lovely note to it. Incense. And it's definitely a whiskey that really develops the longer you leave it in the glass. Just needs time to kind of open up. And it was only released actually about a couple of weeks ago, so it's only recently come out. Yeah, that kind of Christmas cake. It almost reminds me, this is very specific to me, but maybe some of you live in Germany. It reminds me of a kind of a German fruit flan. I know it's very specific, but I have family in Germany, and I spent a lot of time over there in my youth, and I remember trying a lot of these German fruit flans, and that nose reminds me of that. Very specific, but if any of you German viewers are watching and you've tried the Arran White Stag, you'll know what I mean. Beautiful nose, right, on the taste. Wow. It's just as good as I remember. On the taste, this kind of big strawberry fruitiness comes through. And I put there on my notes, massive strawberry jam note. Again, cherry sorbet I've put. Lexia raisins, which is a common thing that I get from sherry cask matured whiskey. And Lexia raisins are a special type of kind of quite sweet raisin. Let's have another taste. Honey fruit flapjack, that kind of oaty golden syrup note comes through as well. And the finish, it's long, aromatic, and that kind of smoky pepperiness that you get from all the Arran whiskies. Another thing that they did to say thank you to the competition winners is we all sent our tasting notes, our individual tasting notes, to Arran, and they basically combined all our tasting notes together. So on the back of the box it's got the kind of official tasting notes submitted by the White Stag panel. So mine's kind of made it in there with marmalade cake, which I'm again very chuffed with. So that's the Arran White Stag. Again, I'm massively thankful for being picked as part of the competition. It's very humbling and lovely to meet other whisky lovers and other appreciators of Arran. I have to say Arran are one of my favourite distilleries, just because consistently through their range they're producing solid whiskies. Score-wise, at the time, just to show I'm not lying, and this was dated in January, I scored an 8.5 out of 10. Now going back to it, I think I've got to up it to a 9 out of 10. I really do. I think it's an outstanding whiskey. I think it's a whiskey that would appeal to a lot of different people's palates as well, because it's not too heavy, not too smoky. It's kind of right in the middle of that taste spectrum. So that is a 9 out of 10. That's a higher score, and it was the third cask sample of the night. So you know, obviously a couple of whiskies in, your palate's going to be affected slightly. So that's a 9 out of 10 for the Arran White Stag bottling. Please share the video. If you've managed to get a bottle of the Arran White Stag, I hope you've opened it, because again there's very limited numbers. I've seen a few on the auction sites, which kind of saddens me considering how limited it is, and I want people to appreciate and, you know, open these limited edition bottling, because whiskey is made for drinking. Please let me know if you've had it, leave me a comment, let me know what you think of Arran in general, and I will see you next week for yet another whiskey review. Cheers guys, bye bye.